So you want to buy your first home and you don't know where to start. You come to the right place because I'm going to walk you through the steps of purchasing your first home and what you need to do to get there. If you don't think you're there, let's see if you're there. Send us a private message or you can call or text us at 682-702-6664. My name is Stephanie Simmons with Stephanie Simmons Realty Group. I've helped many first-time home buyers purchase their first home. It can be scary, but I'm here to walk you through every step and hold your hand. My first and foremost suggestion is going to be to talk to our lenders. Our lenders work after 5 p.m. and they work on the weekends. It's very important and vital to the process to have a lender that will communicate during those hours. In this market, we don't have time to wait for someone to come back to the office on Monday after Friday on a 5 p.m. and we've been out looking at properties all weekend long. So that's going to be my first suggestion. If you have your own lender, that's perfectly fine. I just want to be sure that they will communicate with us after hours and on the weekends. Once we talk to the lender and you fill out your credit application, they will let us know where you are in the financing process. So do you need to work on your credit a little bit longer? Do you need to save up a little bit more money? Or are we right there ready to go? They will tell us exactly where you are. I don't need your social security number. I don't need any of your financial account information. That is all what the lender gets paid to do. They take all that information and collect it from you and then let me and you know exactly where you are budget-wise. So let's just say you're done and you're pre-qualified and the lender says, awesome, let's go find you a home. And you and I hit the road running. And they say you're pre-approved for $350,000. I always tell everyone, you don't have to spend that entire amount of money on your home. You can budget and what you feel comfortable with purchasing. And then we will stay within that price range. I can set up a search for you on the MLS to where you'll get any of the notifications for any homes that come on the market. I know everyone uses Zillow and Realtor.com and they're not our friends because they do not stay up to date. The market changes so quickly that you want to be sure that you're using a system that keeps you up to date minute by minute. I also do a personal home search for you every day. I look at the market and see what new homes have hit the market. And if I see something in your criteria, I'll shoot it over to you immediately so you don't miss an opportunity. Second is we'll go over our steps to purchasing a home. I have an entire home buyer's guide. It's free, so if you want a copy, just shoot me a message, 682-702-6664, and I will email that over to you. There are no secrets here. If you need to know, hey, how do I buy a house? We have an entire guide for you to read so that you'll know the exact steps. In the home buyer's guide, it will explain different terminology to you. One is earnest money. So what is earnest money? Earnest money is typically 1% of the sales price. I know that sounds like a lot of money, but that is what we're calling our good faith money. That is money that you're going to put towards the purchase of the home. So when we go through the steps of the contract, I'll explain that to you as well. You'll need some option money. Option money is typically $200 to $500 for an option period. The option period gives you a length of time, I always say 4 or 5 days in this market. It is tough, but we try to do 4 or 5 days, but it can be done, and it has been done. We get our inspection, we get in, we get out. That option money allows you that allotted time to decide if you want to move forward with that purchase of the home or if you want to terminate it. If you choose to terminate it, you'll lose that money, but that's the only money you will lose during the option period. Then we'll walk you through the terms of the contract and how to structure a great offer so that you can win. There are different ways to win in this market. You don't have to keep overbidding thousands and thousands of dollars. There are different terms in the contract that are attractive to sellers. One is called a lease back. Can you give the seller a few days, weeks in order to get their ducks in a row and move to their next location? That could win. We just won with a 2-week lease back that we gave the sellers. That is something that you can do instead of bidding $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 over. We will provide you with a list of inspectors that we have used and done business with, and several of our clients have too, that you can call and get you a quote and see which inspector fits you best. Then once we get the inspection report back, you and I will go through the inspection report and you tell me what is important to you in this home to get fixed. In this market, I always say only the major things we need to look at. We don't need to look at chipped paint on the wall or a light switch that isn't tightened to the wall. But we will look at the 5 main components of a home: the roof, the HVAC, the plumbing, the electrical, and the foundation. Those are the 5 key components of the home that we definitely need to consider if there's something wrong to ask the seller to repair. But if they're not, then I say let's just move on and get that appraisal done. Your lender will order the appraisal and they'll tell you how much it costs. I always say between $600 to $800, depending on the lender and depending on the location. So you need that money to pay for your appraisal. An appraiser actually comes out to the home that you're purchasing and they actually put a value on it. They go through the home and check for small little things depending on your loan to make sure it meets the criteria of your loan type. Once the appraiser turns in the appraisal, he'll tell us the value is good with no conditions, or if the value is not good and it doesn't meet conditions. And then we'll discuss that at that time. I would say let's not worry about those hurdles until we've jumped them and crossed them. Towards the end, after the appraisal is complete and all your documents are turned in, your lender will give us the final clear to close. And they will also give you the final dollar amount to bring to closing at that time. But you should have already seen a fee sheet from your lender that kind of gave you an estimate of what this should have been at closing earlier on in the game. The lender has known what address you are purchasing since they received the contract, and they also know the taxes and the insurance cost for that home at the beginning. So your fee sheet would have been emailed to you. If not, I would request it in the beginning once we put a contract in, and I'll always remind you of that as well. I don't like any surprises, and I don't want you to be surprised either. I want you to know all your information up front so you know what you're getting into as soon as we sign the dotted line to submit our offer. Once your lender has issued a clear to close, we'll schedule our final walkthrough of the home, so you'll get to see it one more time, and then measure for your refrigerator or whatever it is that you need, and then we'll schedule the closing. Once we get to closing, you'll bring your cashier's check or mail a wire for your final cost to purchase your home. Once the seller and the buyer have signed on the dotted line and all documents are approved by your lender, they will issue funding. Once it's funded, that house is yours, and I will hand you over the keys, and it'll be the most exciting experience that you've ever had. I promise. Homeownership isn't scary, and buying a home isn't scary. Just give me a call and we'll walk you right through it.